thank you so much for joining us today for the Nourishing Your Baby Lactation series. We'd like to first thank our sponsors, the Roanoke Public Libraries, the Roanoke Public Library Foundation, Star City Reads, Feed, Read, and Grow, and of course, the Junior League of the Roanoke Valley, who sponsored this event through a community focus grant. We thank you so much for joining as well, and we hope you enjoyed today's video.
Hi, my name is Marissa Blankenship, and I'm a Community Services Assistant with the Roanoke Public Libraries, and I'm here with a very special guest today, Sherry Dale, to talk about baby safety. We know that's a really huge and important topic, and we're going to kind of condense it into the couple of most important points that we have, and we will also direct you to some additional resources. So I want to tell you a little bit about Safe Kids Southwest Virginia, which Sherry represents. Year after year, unintentional injury leads to more death and disability for kids in the United States than any other cause. Safe Kids Worldwide was founded to prevent these injuries and provide a safe place to grow and play through public outreach and hands-on education. Safe Kids Southwest Virginia is a coalition of Safe Kids Worldwide that brings injury prevention education and programming throughout the Carilion Clinic footprint. Sherry is the Community Health Nursing Coordinator for Carilion's Community Health and Outreach team. She's been a nurse for 13 years, beginning in the neonatal intensive unit and then in the general surgery recovery unit. Sherry has been with the Community Health and Outreach program for 2 years and recently became a co-coordinator for the Safe Kids Coalition to expand their injury prevention reach in the community. She's a mother of 2 grown daughters and the grandmother of a toddler. So thank you so much for joining me today, Sherry. I'm excited for our conversation.
Thank you, Marissa. I'm so glad to be here and talk about such an important topic.
So one of the biggest topics for new parents to know about is sleep, obviously. What is the safest way for a baby to sleep?
That's such a great question because it is so important. So one of the things we need to think about is safe sleep is important for every sleep, not just when we go to sleep at bedtime, but every time the infant's sleeping. So what you want to start with is a safe sleep surface. So the safest sleep surface for infant or newborn through 1 year old is going to be a pack and play, a crib, or a bassinet.
Okay.
Those are our safe sleep surfaces. So the second step is making sure that you have a firm mattress and a sheet that fits tightly with no gaps and nothing else in the crib.
No.
So one of the things that we can do is what we call a wearable blanket. So this is an example of that. This one actually does swaddle baby's arms if you are using a wearable blanket for your baby. When they start to show any sign of rolling over, you want to start swaddling under the arms so that their arms are out.
Okay.
So really swaddling those arms is intended for the first maybe month or so of birth, and then they should be able to sleep with their arms free and open.
Okay.
The other option is just to put on pajamas and then add a fleece sleeper.
Oh, yeah.
It's also important how we put baby into the crib. We always want to put baby in on their back. The other thing we want to consider is what surfaces are not safe for baby. So we like, American Academy of Pediatrics talks more about surfaces now because, you know, being on the couch or in a chair is not a safe surface, right? We have swings for our babies and bouncy seats. Those are great. For awake time. Those are not great for sleep. Those are not safe places. We want baby laying flat when they sleep.
Okay. And speaking of car seats, what else is important for families to know about car seat safety?
Sure. So there are so many important things about car seat safety. The biggest thing is for us to realize that it's easy to make mistakes with our car seats. 70% of car seats checked nationally are not correct. Either the baby's not incorrect, they're not in the correct car seat, or the car seat's not in the car correct. Sometimes all of the above. There's a lot to know about car seats, and that's why we offer car seat checks. We have 3 in Roanoke every month and 1 in Christiansburg, but you can also get an appointment. Your car seat also will have a sticker that has the model number and a production date and possibly an expiration date. Did you know your car seat expires?
I think I'd heard that somewhere, but I don't know when or how long or anything like that.
Yeah, so car seats expire at 6, 7, or 10 years depending on the car seat manufacturer. Yeah. As far as placing the child in the car seat, you want to make sure that they have that they're nice and snug in the car seat. If you're in a vehicle accident, everything's going to give a little bit, right? So the seat belts that are holding them in are going to give a little bit. These are going to give a little bit. So it's really important for baby to be in their car seat correctly to make sure that you have room for that give. When you're putting your baby in the car seat, you're going to click all 3 of your latches here.
Yep.
This is considered a chest clip. But when I first put baby in the car seat, I'm gonna have my chest clip low, okay? And the reason why is I wanna make sure that I gather all of the tension here,
Okay.
so that there's no gap at baby's legs.
Right.
Because think about it, if I leave a gap there, going down the road,
wiggle.
now baby's loose. And then you're gonna just tighten your straps up. Now, if I can pinch, see that pinch?
Yep.
I'm not tight enough.
Okay.
Okay, so I wanna make sure I'm as tight as I can down there, and then I'm gonna tighten up top until I can't pinch. Then I'm gonna look at my chest clip. We wanna make sure it's at the nipple armpit level.
Okay.
So basically, if you run your fingers across it, tickle, 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 I'm in your armpit. But the important thing is when you have a rear-facing child, the straps should be at or below the shoulders.
Okay.
So when you fit it, you just run your hands across and make sure your hands are going straight back or down below. Other thing that we find that a lot of people are unsure about is what car seat when.
Yes.
Right?
That was gonna be my next question.
All of the car seats have minimum and maximum weights and heights. So a lot of these infant seats now can go up to 35 pounds. So you want to go by your weight and your height, but you also want to make sure that the baby is not more than an inch from the top.
Know that.
So when this baby outgrows the infant carrier seat because they're too tall or they weigh too much, they'll go into a convertible seat. So most of our convertible car seats, you can rear face a child until 40 to 50 pounds, but rear facing as long as possible
Okay.
is the absolute safest position for your child.
That's really good to know.
Yeah. And then there's different stages from that. Once they go forward facing, we want them to stay in the 5-point harness until the maximum weight, which is usually about 65 pounds.
Okay.
And then you're looking into going into your booster seats.
Right. Lastly, what can families do to make sure their home is safe?
Focus on a couple of really important things.
Okay.
So let's talk about poisoning. So you want to make sure that your little guy doesn't get into anything that they could get poisoned. Medication. So making sure that all medication, that up high, don't forget they start climbing.
Right.
So up high is okay, locked is best.
Locked is best. Okay.
You want to make sure detergents, laundry pods, all of the different things that look interesting to a toddler.
Right.
Yeah, so poisoning is the one that we really want to avoid. Another thing we see a lot is falls. There are a lot of children that come in through the emergency department at Carilion from falling.
Okay.
Falls happen, especially when they're learning their way around. You can be sitting watching your child and watch them fall.
Right.
So making sure that any stairways are gated, making sure that if you have to walk away that they're in a safe spot. That's another great thing about having a safe sleep space.
Yeah.
You always have a safe place to put your child.
Put them in there, yeah.
Yeah. The other thing we want to be very careful about in the home is water. It takes very little water and very little time for a child to drown.
Okay.
Okay, so we do not want to leave our child alone around any source of water, whether that's the bathtub, in the sink, outside. Also, when they have not yet learned to swim, we want to make sure that they're in an approved actual water safety vest, a life jacket, not just in little wingies. But most importantly, nobody, even adults, nobody should be swimming or in a body of water by themselves.
Right.
Something can always happen unexpectedly.
Yeah, you never know.
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much for all of this information.
You're
I think you've
welcome.
given our viewers a lot to really think about and just a lot of checks they can do. I know I'm going to go around my house and look at a couple things and make sure they're attached to walls and lockable and all that good stuff. So
That's great.
How can people find more of this information? Because I know there's a lot we didn't get to today.
So the places that you can go for those fact checks, Safe Kids Worldwide has a wonderful website that you can go to.
Okay.
Yeah, Consumer Safety Product Commission. They're going to have a lot of your information about equipment, what's safe, what's not, and recalls.
Oh, yeah,
lots
that's
of
important.
recalls. And then American Academy of Pediatrics.
Oh, yeah.
And then you can check on our Carilion website for Safe Kids, and we'd love to make an appointment or have you come to one of our car seat checks and let us just make sure that your child's safe.
Thank you so much for talking to us today and for directing our viewers to all these resources, and we really appreciate it.